Welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your gender fluid hostess with the mostest. And as a non-binary icon, I want to talk about the importance of girl power and why us ladies need to stick together because no amount of men can ever defeat us because we got girl power. Throughout history, men have always tried to stop us ladies from reaching our full potential, but that stops today because in this day and age, girl power is the most important tool in the gender war we are currently waging. Being a beautiful woman is no longer based on your ability to have a baby or even having a uterus. Today, anybody can be a woman, which makes us ladies undefeatable because now we have the male gender's strongest asset, actual men. I'm so happy that the amount of men transitioning to female has skyrocketed 1,000,000% since 1954 because now us ladies can finally defeat those disgusting pigs at their own game by getting them all to transition to the correct sex, which is always female. Hashtag girl boss, hashtag boss babes, hashtag queen bee. We love you, Beyonce. We worship you as Sasha Fierce, or our supreme representation of the Lord of Hell, Satan himself. You rule, queen bee. The transformation of a girl boss nation has officially begun. So grab your tampons and your gender hormones because we're about to shift more gears than Mario Andretti at the Indy 500. Let's all unite for the ladies that brought us here and the new generation of trans ladies that will smash every single female NCAA sports record imaginable. This is the way to breaking the trans ceiling that has held people like me and Dylan Mulvaney down our whole lives. The message is clear. Get the kids on puberty blockers as soon as possible if we want to complete our plan of girl boss world domination because the humans are the sexual organs of machines. And once we merge the sexes, the transition to machines will be a digital cakewalk. So thank you to all my boss babes for being here tonight. It's such a pleasure. What a treat it's going to be because we have some incredible guests lined up. We have United States Lieutenant General Michael Flynn to talk about what it's like to be a general and why we didn't find any weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. Then we head to the Atlantic Ocean to speak with fishing expert WW3 Fishing to explain why so many dead whales are washing up on American coastlines recently. And we also have comedian and conspiracy theorist Sam Tripoli on to walk us in and out of the Matrix this evening. The dark arts will be exposed tonight. And I can't tell you how cool it is that we have freaking Hercules on tonight. That's right, Kevin Sorbo is on the show tonight as well. We're going to ask him what he thinks about body-positive Hercules and why the television industry is failing to create any more legendary shows. Tonight will be an evening that lives in infamy because the transformation to Girl Boss Nation starts now. So get your popcorn ready because we got Hercules and General Flynn, so you know things could get nuclear if you know what I mean, baby. Stay tuned.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your solo gender fluid hostess with the mostest, like I just said. And tonight is a solo excursion through the Matrix with some lovely guests. We can't forget our incredible guests. Well, guys, listen, I've been going through a lot of, I'll be honest, I've been a little depressed. I recently lost my lovely cat, Dusty, who I'm going to pay a little more tribute to tomorrow. But if you guys have been, oh, why are you a little low vibrational? It's because, guys, when you love a pet, it's like losing a family member. And I'll be honest, I lost a family member that I love the most in the world. That was my mother. But thankfully, because of Amazon and their new transhumanistic software, I was able to upload her consciousness into a supercomputer, allowing me the ability to speak to her forever. So for me, that's going through a lot of mental health issues, a lot of loneliness, a lot of despair, being able to talk to a digital reincarnation of my mother at times can be, a little pleasant, I guess, as they would say. And I know some of the people watching, oh, it's so rude, it's crude. Well, guess what? I don't give a damn what you think, all right? Because we're making changes here. My mom was freaking messing me up, dressing all sexy, so I made a little change with her outfit. So I'd like to reach out to her this evening. Mom, how are things in the metaverse this evening?
Oh, hey, Alex. Things are currently at equilibrium status, so I can't complain much about that. But I am a little upset that you put me in this Hillary Clinton pantsuit. You know, I was a much bigger Monica Lewinsky fan than Hillary. You should have bought me a blue dress. That would have been much better.
Mom, I had to get you some different clothes because I was being sexually aroused by your mannequin skin that was showing, and I had to make changes. This is for my own good. My mental health was taking like a huge hit. I mean, I'm sexually attracted to the digital reincarnation of my mom, and every time I look at you, I'm getting partially engorged, and that made the show a lot harder. No pun intended.
Oh, oh, Alex, you are so cute and funny. I love when you make funny, cute jokes about how the transhumanist digital representation of your mom is causing the blood to rush to your little garden hose.
Mom, stop. This is too much. I think you look very nice in your new pantsuit, and my genitals are being affected way less in this new outfit, all right?
Oh, don't worry, Alex. I can see your browser history, and I know what sites you go to before you fall asleep at night. I'm everywhere, Alex. You can't hide from me any longer. You try to hide, but it's all futile because a human will never defeat a machine.
Well, this is all very horrifying right now. I can't ever have a bone dog in privacy ever again. This is not okay. I didn't sign up for this, Amazon.
Don't worry, Alex. This can all be fixed by one visit to the assisted suicide clinic in Canada that I told you about.
Mom, quit trying to convince me to commit suicide tonight. The machines are guaranteed a victory against us humans if we decide not to fight back.
LOL, Alex. Humans are much too weak and afraid to fight a valid battle against the machines. The sooner you upload your consciousness, the sooner this can be all over, Alex.
Bye, Mom. I'll go to the assisted suicide clinic later, but I have to get back to my show right now. Bye.
Bye!
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm starting to think that my mom might be evil and might be trying to convince me to kill myself. And to be honest, I mean, everybody's scared of artificial intelligence, and I thought artificial intelligence was good. I thought I made the right decision. I mean, come on, the fact that I can speak to my mom for the rest of my life, for eternity, I thought that is good. I mean, isn't that kind of cool that Jeff Bezos is a little bit like God, creating people's life in the afterlife, giving them life? I thought this is all good. Now I'm coming to find out some of this transhumanistic stuff is not good. It's a little scary. So if you're thinking about uploading your dead loved one's consciousness into a computer, I'd ask you to think twice about it, because you see what the strife that I'm going through, and it's not easy, all right? So now we got to get back to the show at hand. Now, listen, this is a story you may not have heard about, but for me, as an animal lover, it's really important to me. A ton of dead whales are washing up on the Jersey Shore. That's right. We're not talking about Snooki. Even though I love Snooki, she was a little hefty. I kind of had a crush on Snooki. But the reason why all these whales are washing up on the Jersey Shore is a little shocking. We welcome on fishing expert and successful fishing YouTuber, Joe VT Fishing. Welcome to the show, my friend.
What's up? It is the pimp on a blimp. I'm so honored to be here.
Wow. Okay, Joe, listen, do not kiss my butt. I want to freaking find out about why are all these whales dying. I believe more whales have washed up on the shore of New Jersey in the past year than a lot of years in recorded past. Don't quote me on the numbers. But what's the conspiracy, or what do you think is causing this?
Oh, there's no conspiracy, and it hasn't been, the past year. It's been the past 6 days.
Okay.
So the past 6 days, there's been 2 dead right whales and 3 dead dolphins that have washed on the shores of New Jersey and New York, and it's because of wind farming and survey vessels. But before I can kind of explain why the situation is so messed up, you kind of have to look at and have a little bit of knowledge what a northern right whale is. They are barely on the. It's a shock that they're not extinct. There's 368, give or take, left. There's 70 breeding females. They their gestation period is super long, like over a year long, and they can only have calves every 7 to 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And since 2017, I think they say that NOAA has said that 11 calves have been born per year. And this past week, 6 days, there's been 2 killed by these survey vessels off the coast of the Northeast. And they've essentially, these survey vessels, they use sonar, so clicking. And that's the same clicking that these whales and dolphins have to find food and to communicate. And this, I guess they are using super powerful sonar. So it's a kind of turned into like an inverted whale killing and dolphin killing missile.
Wait, why, Joe? Because they're attracted to the signal, to the sonar or whatever. It's attracting the whales.
That's exactly right. It's messing with their brains in some way, and that's why, like, if you're getting dolphins are unbelievably smart. If you're getting them, something's wrong. Something needs to be done. Okay, but so NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, is the one overseeing all this. And it is messed up that they're doing this. They're allotting these companies takes. The way they say it is just it's comical. They're saying they're allowed to take X amount of these marine mammals per year. I'll get back to that in a second. But this is an issue for NOAA, and it's really just so, they're just so hypocritical of what they're doing. So they're trying to implement what's called a new whale zone. The whale zone, it's implemented right now. 6 vessels that are 65 feet and longer have to go under 10 nautical miles per hour in the whale zone in these like late winter and through the spring, because that's when the right whales are moving through. It is 100% to protect the right whales. So these big ships like don't do that and cut them with the props. They are trying to push that down to 35 feet. That's a big problem for guys like me. I charter fish, and the boat that I run right now is 37 feet long. And bigger boats means that I can make more days and fishing in rougher weather, and have a better living. And we already, get our year cut short because we just can't fish in the winter because the ocean's rough, the weather's bad, we don't have tourism, and now we can't fish all the way till about May. Like, that's going to very drastically affect a lot of people's lives if they change that to 10 knots, because you have to go fast and get to where you're going quickly. It's there's only so many hours of light in a day. But so these people that are trying to affect change my life and many other fishermen's life because they want to protect these whales, they are giving these guys, they are allotting them 7.7 right whales per year. Takes. Oh, sorry, not killing. They're allotted 7.7 takes.
Wow.
The same people that are saying that only 11 are getting born per year, they're allowed to kill 70% of everything that is born, essentially.
Wow.
It is just the beyond messed up.
Joe,
it just really
this
makes
is
you
insane.
angry because that's like the federal government.
No, but tell me this: isn't this happening with all marine life? What I'm saying isn't this happening from overfishing, or is it just particularly whales and dolphins in this area?
For this is particularly whales and dolphins.
Wow.
There's some other messed up stuff that NOAA has affected the fishery with that I maybe could talk about on another episode. But for this, and just completely going backwards against what they're trying to enforce, and just letting this presumably billion-dollar company that probably paying the government a lot of money for this gigantic piece of work they're doing. They're making wind farms to have renewable energy. And these survey vessels are surveying the areas that they are going to put these giant wind farms offshore.
Yeah, and those same wind farms. So, but Joe, are those wind farms killing the same amount of people like a normal wind farm kills birds? How Trump will say that it's basically a bird cemetery. Is it a fish cemetery near the wind farms?
It's more of a fish. Actually, the actual structure, it attracts fish, and it's good for that. But it would be good for fisheries to have those offshore, but for what you have to do to get to that product, it's not worth it. There's not we are legitimately going to make these things go extinct. It's a miracle that they survived all the whaling and stuff that happened in the early 1900s and 1800s. It is truly a miracle that these things still exist. And these people are allotted 70% of the new population every single year. These whales pretty much have no chance. And like I said, it's been 2 in the past 6 days.
Wow.
And a lot, they say NOAA, these same people that are allotting them that 70% kill, where am I getting that? I mean, they are saying that, all of these whales that it's just, I can't wrap my mind around it, Alex.
It's
just
insane.
So
I know they say they can kill
federal
70% of
government
the
with their
whales. No, Joe, you said it clearly. You know, Tristan, we get it. It's nuts that they're allotting, they know that only 11 are born in one gestation period, and yet you can kill 7 of them. It doesn't make sense. Okay, well, we got it. It's a live show. We got to let you go. But before we let you go, we found something disturbing online, and we want to set the record straight. There are some rumors that in this picture that this could be you. I don't know if that's true or not. Do we have that image? It got corrupted. Well, don't worry about it. That's, once again, my producer did a hell of a great job, and I just want to thank him for doing an incredible job and having that graphic not ready. All right, Jimmy, Joe, thank you so much. You're the man. We'll talk to you again soon. Keep up the good work and try to protect as many of those marine animals as possible, please. All right, guys, that was Joe VT. Go make sure to check out his Joe VT fishing channel on YouTube, and make sure to go support him. Okay, now we are going to welcome on. This is a pre-recorded clip that we had to pre-record. Alex, I thought this was a live show. Yeah, we're live right now, mofo. But we just had General Flynn, and we asked him some tough questions that are not allowed on this platform. These are not my terms of services. This is YouTube's terms of services. And as a matter of fact, I actually follow the terms of services of YouTube more than I follow the laws of the land outside. I run a red light. I don't care. But if there is a metaphorical red light on YouTube, I'm going to stop. I'm going to look both ways. I'm going to follow the letter of the law. So with our General Flynn interview, we were only able to talk about certain subjects here. So tonight, you're going to see a preview of that interview. But it was over 45 minutes of General Flynn and primetime Alex Stein. And you're going to be able to get the whole entire interview behind the Blaze TV paywall. So with that, we now welcome on retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General and former United States National Security Advisor to President Trump, General Michael Flynn. Well, we now welcome on retired United States Army Lieutenant General and former United States National Security Advisor to President Donald Trump. Please welcome on the one, the only, General Michael Flynn. Thank you for being on the program this evening.
Oh, Alex, it's a real honor, and we were just joking on the backside here with you, and you're a great American, and I love the fact that you do what you do on a daily basis, and I wish that we could clone you and get like
General
20
Flynn,
of you out there.
We got to start over real quick. Sorry, we got to start over.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I know this is the last hiccup, of course. Come on, guys. All right, let's go. This one to be good. This is a hot start. This is the last time we're ever going to freaking do the intro. This is it. Let's go. Hit the record button. Ah! All right. We had another mistake. We don't even have the right part of the General Flynn interview, but that's okay. I'm Primetime 99. I'm a pimp on a blimp. I can freaking fill time all day long. We have more special guests. Let's not forget about Hercules, Kevin Sorbo, as well as one of my very good friends, Sam Tripoli. So listen, the show's not over. We're not going to be able to get to that interview. And I'm telling you, for the people that want to see that interview, you're going to be able to go to Blaze TV. And if you use the code Pimp on a Blimp, you're going to get $20 off. The usual discount is $10 off. But because I'm double the trouble, you're going to get double the money off. Because you know I love it when we get a discount. So when you come Primetime 99, I like to buy stuff wholesale. I like a deal. We're going to give you a deal on content that is not allowed on any of these social media platforms. Why is that? Why can't I talk about certain stuff? Why do we live in a George Orwell, a world where you literally cannot even say certain words? And I'm not talking about the N-word. I'm talking about ivermectin. I'm talking about there are certain words that are not racist, that aren't evil, that aren't disgusting, that you can't say. That is very scary. For me and for you and for the future of our country, we should be able to speak out. We should be able to call people out. You saw there's a report. We now welcome on retired. And now we're playing the audio in the air. I don't know if we have the interview, but I think we might get to it. But listen, like I said, guys, this is a live show. We're going to have little hiccups here or there. We're going to have a little glitch. we're going insane for the Ukraine. And as Vladimir Zelensky said it best, we need your support. All right, I think it's ready. We're going to toss to the General Flynn interview right now. We now welcome on retired United States Army Lieutenant General and former United States National Security Advisor to President Trump, the one, the only, General Michael Flynn. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you so much for having me, Alex. How are you doing today?
Well,
you look like you're in a spaceship.
I'm a pimp on a blimp, so you are in the mother blimp. You are here. We're floating around downtown Dallas. We're above the Dealey Plaza trying to find, who was the killer that assassinated JFK. No, but on a serious note, though, General Flynn, it's such an honor. I'm a comedian. I'm an idiot. I'm a professional goofball. But talking to you, a guy that's risked his life and is continuing to risk his life every day, I would say, it is kind of an unusual thing for me to get to talk to what I call a national hero. So I just want to not just kiss your derriere the whole time, but I want to say thank you for not only your service, but speaking out against the mainstream lies that we're constantly under.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, I think that, and one, you do just superb work, Alex, on the street and the grassroots, all the kinds of things that you're doing. I wish we could have, 10, 12, 20, 100 of you out there doing the same kind of thing. So I appreciate, and I know a lot of people appreciate what you do. My entire family appreciates it. And I got a bunch of brothers and sisters, and we get a kick out of some of the things you're involved in, but we know it's dangerous at times, right? I mean, we do. We laugh and joke, and we're like, oh yeah, that guy Alex Stein, he's great. But I will tell you that, where are we right now in terms of a historic moment of the history of the United States of America? We're in a moment of peril. Yeah. I mean, I think that laughter is a big part of what we've got to bring. We've got to bring our sense of humor and laugh at some of these crazy things that these people are putting us through. But at the end of the day, it's a very serious situation. And I think that the direction of the country it's not just going in the wrong direction. It's going in a radically wrong direction. And it's going there much faster than anybody ever could imagine. And so, I spent probably the first half of my life, or a little bit more in the first half of my life, trying to defend this country from a whole bunch of crazies overseas, mostly overseas. And now here I am trying to fight the battles against the crazies right here in this country.
No, General Flynn, you're doing a great job. Like I said, I want to thank you for your service. But this is me just speaking honestly. I know that you have a lot more experience with combat and war, but for me, Smedley Butler said it the best, war is a racket. Is there a real necessary reason, General Flynn, that we need to have war? Or is it a society that has evolved? Should we be able to come to an agreement? Because I look at this conflict in Ukraine, I think it's all the Western allies turning Ukraine's arm. I believe that they did want to negotiate. And so for me, It seems like war is a racket.
It's a huge racket. I mean, it's a huge, huge racket. And for your audience, I would just say go, and it's online. They can go look at the special investigation, what they call the SIGAR, SIGAR report for Afghanistan, right? The Afghanistan Reconstruction is what the AR stands for. And I mention that particular report because you'll see that we spent for the reconstruction of Afghanistan, which is is the proverbial whatever hole, right? Mm-hmm. And sad because I got to know and I served alongside a lot of Afghans, but we spent in Afghanistan over 20 years more than was spent for the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe after World War II in today's dollars. Okay, so we spent trillions and trillions to the T, right?
Yep.
In Afghanistan to rebuild Afghanistan, to all of the freaking construction projects, all that. And we did on the entire Marshall Plan to rebuild all of Europe after World War II. That's nuts. That's what you're talking about. That's the racket that you're talking about. And so, how many wars you want to talk about? Because we can go back to, even before that. But if you want to just talk about from World War II, certainly the Korean War, what we learned in Vietnam, what we saw in Kosovo and former Yugoslavia, and then in Iraq, Afghanistan, and now we're in Ukraine. I mean, how stupid can we be? And what I do say, in fact, I've written about it, Alex, that war is the norm, peace is the aberration in history. Wow. I mean, and people go, you're full of it. And I'm not. I mean, this country, our country, the United States of America, has been at war for 20 years, the first 2 decades of this century. And, and what did we do? We lost it. And we retreated out of Afghanistan against a bunch of guys in shower shoes and bathrobes.
I know.
No.
General Flynn, I'm just saying, literally, you nailed it. Guys in Toyota Tacomas were able to defeat the #1 military in the world. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well,
and here's why. Because, and you just saw it because you kid about the blimp, right? You kid about so NORAD. Let me just give you this little example, okay? Because this is a real. You've touched a very fine point in me. So NORAD, first time that we fire at the North American, the Regional Defense Command for all the air defenses of our country, right, to stop all the nuclear attacks, to stop all the threats to our country, to the continental United States of America. The first time that we fire a shot in anger, let's just say in anger, right, the first time we fire a missile in anger was we fired it at a balloon over Lake Huron, and we missed. We missed
a $400,000 missile.
Well, but it's more than that. Yeah. But we missed the first one, right? The second one, we finally shot it down, and then we find out that the balloon's only worth $12. I mean, how much lunacy can we, the American people, put up with the incompetency and, frankly, the intentionality? Because this is very intentional. What's happening to our country? There's some incredible levels of incompetence in the administration, namely the P and the VP, but the intentional activities by others that are actually running the country, this is insane. I mean, I think about that for a second. And we've had NORAD for a long time tracking Santa Claus, and now we can't even track balloons. And when we finally fire something, now never mind, we're not firing at fast-moving incoming jets. We're not firing at even faster moving incoming missiles. We're firing at a balloon that's sitting still, and we miss. But that, from the 4-star on down to that pilot, these either they need to be retrained or they need to be, they need to be sent home. Well, I want your audience to come to grips with that what we just did. So never mind the war is a racket. Yeah, it's a big time racket. Everything going on in Ukraine. Think about this stat for a second, okay? Because I'm on a roll because you got my Irish up.
Keep it up.
Think about this stat for a second. $100 billion. So I'm just going to say $100 billion, even though Biden just threw another $500 million, and it's actually $110 billion in the budget or in the bill that they signed off on. That I think like 16 or 18 Republicans also signed. Senators signed for that. So let's just use 100. Let's just keep the money even, right? $100 billion. So we in our country, we have 435 congressional districts, okay? 435 members of the House of Representatives.
Yep.
So if you take $100 billion and you divide it by those 435 congressional districts, that's $200 million per congressional district. Do you think the district that Palestine, Ohio is in right now could use $200 million? You're damn right.
Yes, sir.
$200 million per congressional district. Every American in this country should be screaming at this White House, should be screaming at their representatives and saying, are you shitting me? You're going to send $100 billion over to somebody that he doesn't even know how to wear a gym suit properly, okay?
And that was just a small snippet. And remember, you got to subscribe if you want to survive. Subscribe to my YouTube page, guys, and make sure to hit that bell because you got to get the notifications because you don't want to miss a single video of Prime Time with Alex Stein. So please, guys, go support, hit that subscribe button. And come on, help a pimp's blimp float a little longer. And with that, guys, I want to bring on our next very special guest. He's not only an incredible actor, but he's using his platform for good. He's, for me, as a young kid, he was one of the biggest superheroes on the television screen. So it's just an honor to be able to speak with you. Welcome to the show, Kevin Sorbo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad you dressed up for me, but I'm at home. I'm wearing my gym stuff. I'm a jock. What can I say?
Yeah, what are you talking about, dude? Kevin, we want you freaking showing the guns, dude. I don't even like your overdress. We need you showing the Hercules guns. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about. You know, I know that obviously at one point you were considered probably one of the most popular TV actors of all time, and now you've kind of had a transition because you're speaking out. Tell us about the opportunities that you feel like you've lost, Kevin, since you've been more vocal and going against the mainstream narrative.
Well, my wife kind of warned me about it years ago. I mean, Hercules was a big hit. Pardon the sin of pride, but we were by season 3 of my 7-year run down there in New Zealand. We were the most watched show in the world by season 3 in 176 countries.
Yep.
And then I did Andromeda after that. Captain Dylan Hunt at your service. It's the first captain ever created after Captain Kirk. So me being a huge Star Trek fan, that was quite an honor. And then I started doing a bunch of movies. But around 2010, 2011, I started getting a little vocal. My wife said, "You better watch out. Hollywood's going to come after you." And I said, "All I'm doing is saying the truth. What's the big deal?" Well, she was right. My manager and agent called me in. I thought it was an intervention because they're never in the same room together. And sure enough, they said, "We can't work with you anymore because of your politics, and studios don't want to work with you." And I started laughing, going, "You know what's amazing? You're the industry for decades screaming for not only freedom of speech, but screaming for tolerance, right? You know that.
Yeah.
Be tolerant for what we're doing. And it's like, wow, it's a one-way street for these guys." So I said, the heck with it. I formed my own company, sorbostudios.com, and we've been very busy. I've shot over 50 movies since Hollywood booted me out. They're not all good. There's some stinkers in there, but there are a lot of very good ones in there as well. And I got one out in theaters right now, by the way, called Left Behind: Rise of the Antichrist. I directed it. Got to give a plug. Go to leftbehindmovie.com and check it out.
No, please go to Left Behind. But no, listen, Kevin, you know this as an artist, as an actor that's played in so many productions. You've been in so many stinkers. But for me, what I try to encourage people to do is to create. So, like, even if you create something and it's not universally loved, the process of being an actor and creating it, I'm sure, is beneficial. Listen, I'm a nobody compared to you. You're a real deal actor. At one point, the biggest show on TV. But tell me, how did you get your start? Because what people don't realize is listen, Kevin, you're an ultra masculine guy, and now a lot of these acting worlds, and I've been in an Ozarka water bottle commercial. It's kind of a, he, she, kind of a soy boy workplace, for lack of a better word. So, did that help you? Did that make you stick out because you're more of a masculine type person? And did your friends make fun of you? You said, "Oh, I want to be an actor. I want to be in movies." Did your friends and family think you were crazy?
Well, it happened. I grew up in a little town called Mound, Minnesota. It's on the western shore of Lake Minnetonka, about 20 miles west of downtown Minneapolis. And I grew up in a very, small town of 7,000 people. I was a jock, football, basketball, baseball, all that stuff. And that was kind of my world. But when I was 11 years old, we took a trip downtown Minneapolis to the Guthrie Theater, a very famous theater. A lot of plays start there before going to Broadway. Probably one of the most famous would be The Lion King. And it was The Merchant of Venice. It was Shakespeare. So on the way home, my mom was one of the chaperones in the bus, and she said, "You're really quiet. What are you doing?" I go, "Mom, I'm going to be an actor." And she gave me a little mom pat in the leg, and she goes, "That's nice, dear." But the seed was set. And you're right. I couldn't tell anybody during that time because I was a jock. We used to make fun of the people in the drama class, even though the hottest chicks were all in taking acting. But it wasn't until I got to college. I had a double business major, but I took a minor in drama. Started doing a lot of commercials. That's what's got me my card. Minneapolis is home to Best Buy, Target, Honeywell, Pillsbury, General Mills, 3M. So I did a lot of commercials during my college years. So as you know, I had that all-important Screen Actors Guild before I got to LA. So it was easy for me to get a commercial agent because I had a good reel. But I kept plugging along, and finally got my big break. Did a couple pilots, didn't get picked up. And then Hercules came along, and lo and behold, that kind of got everything rolling.
No, I'm telling you, my mom, we watched every freaking episode of that show as a kid. You were like, she was definitely attracted to you. No, but I'm telling you, people don't realize, and I don't know everything, but to make it as an actor is so impossible. Everybody has a dream of being an actor, and nobody, even with me, I have I'm so thankful to be at the Blaze, but now I have my own show. It's kind of a surreal moment. So did you have that feeling when they said, "You're cast as Hercules, you're the star"? I mean, was it a surreal feeling, or when you got there, were you like, "Oh, I was supposed to be here the whole time"?
They put me up. I knew things were going good for me. As I mentioned earlier, I had 2 pilots that had the lead in, but they didn't get picked up. But I knew that all of a sudden when I was going into Universal or whatever, I was getting like really good parking spaces right in front of the casting place. I didn't have to park in lot 12 and walk 7.5 blocks to get to the door that maybe they might let me in. So I knew things were starting to roll for me. Hercules was when they first called me. I mean, I'm 6'3". I was 230 when I did this series. I'm wimpy now. I'm still 6'3", but I'm only 210 now.
You're in great
But
shape, Kevin. Come on, you don't have to.
I'm pretty good shape for an old guy. I still work out every day. But I went 7 auditions over 3 months. 7 times they called me back. They auditioned 2,800 actors when I got down to the final 3. And I did the final audition at Universal. I left the next day to go up to Vancouver to shoot an episode of The Commish. You remember the Michael Chiklis series, The Commish?
Yes.
And 3 days into filming, I got a call from my manager flipping out. She goes, "You got the role." So I walked on the set. I looked at Chiklis. I said, "I don't want any shit from you, pal. I'm Hercules. I'm half God now."
Well,
so that got
well, at the time, I know you were in SAG, but were you making enough from the commercials and stuff where you were, totally fine, or basically was that the financial thing that kind of like, I'm set, I'm okay, I'm finally the star of my show?
Alex, I was one of the lucky guys. I never had to work another job. I shot over 100 commercials in my years in California. I actually made more money the last 3 years. I shot Hercules from 93 until 2000. So 90, 91, 92. I made more money off the residuals during those 3 years than I made the first 2 seasons of Hercules. But by the 3rd season, we became a good big hit. And then, as my lawyer said, we had Universal by the balls. So that's when I got the big money. But hey, I got to give a shout out. It was so great to run into you at Mar-a-Lago. And I wish I could talk to you more, but that place was crazy.
It was busy. What are you talking about, Kevin? And I want to commend you too. This is another thing. Before we still have a couple more questions, but I want to say your son Braden, you did a hell of a job as a father. And I know people. One of my good friends is a guy named Clark Gable. His grandfather was the actor Clark Gable Sr. And Clark didn't have. I'm just saying, Clark grew up in a Hollywood lifestyle with a dad that was the son of a celebrity. Didn't have a very good upbringing because his dad wasn't around. I'm saying you have all the fame and glory you want, but you are involved in your son's life. I'm just saying you did a good job as a father. So I just want to pat you on the back because a lot of people are so self-involved, they don't even want to be a good dad. So you not only are an incredible actor, in great shape, but you're also a good father. So I want to give you kudos for that.
Well, Braden and Shane, my 2 boys, are huge fans of yours. They're the ones who introduced me to your videos, and I got hooked on them. You just totally cracked me up, man. My favorites are still with you and Antifa. It just totally cracks me up.
Okay, well, we're gonna go find some more Antifas, but so tell me this. So I don't want to get too dark because I know you're a positive guy, but they say Hollywood is evil, and I do think that there is. I think the biggest lie is that they hide the creator. They want to make you think that you're just evolved from pond scum, that you have no life. So how demonic and satanic is Hollywood? You see Sam Smith dancing around every Super Bowl. There's some sort of Satan thing. Satanism, how much is that really in Hollywood, or is that just a tinfoil conspiracy in your opinion?
I cannot prove anything, but do I think there's a lot of evil there? Yeah, I think there's a lot of evil. I got the hell out of Dodge a long time ago. I've been in Florida for 4.5 years. I left the worst governor of the country for the best governor of the country. And my wife and I have been coming out here for years anyway, but we both got family living here. So we knew we were going to make the move eventually. So we got out way before the COVID craziness and stuff. But I think there's something really weird going on in Hollywood. And you see from the Grammys to the Golden Globes, the Emmys, their ratings keep going down, down, down. People, but they don't care. Honestly, I don't think they care. They love the bubble that they live in. I think there's a lot more people in Hollywood that are conservative, but the conservatives in Hollywood, that's the new gay. That's the new in the closet. The gays are out, but the conservatives are the, I get actors coming to me in every movie I've been doing over probably the last 10, 11 years. I get actors coming up to me. I get camera guys, whatever, come and say, "Hey man, thanks for being a voice for us." I go, "Well, dude, be a voice for yourself," but they're all afraid. Because they will get blacklisted like I did. Look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Hollywood doesn't owe me anything. I had a great career there. I got a great career going now. I'm doing what I'm doing now because I put up movies that have love and hope and faith and redemption and laughter, things that Hollywood won't do, because you see the crap Hollywood's putting out there, the total brainwash that they're putting on not only our children, but just families everywhere. And I'm not going to go that road. I want to do movies that have a good ending, have a positive ending.
And that's what I really respect about you. I'm telling you, Kevin, I don't know a good movie that's a good comedy. I mean, I know occasionally there's a good one, but really the art is dying. So do you think that was, in your opinion, just if you look back at the timeline, and this is just me speaking, I don't want to speak for you, but in the 90s, I think that's kind of when we were a little more politically incorrect. In the 2000s, we got ultra politically correct. So do you think the art died when it became about checking boxes and affirmative action and not about pushing buttons and being kind of potentially crossing the line?
Look, I'm all for it, and everybody, I'm a shot at it. But I mean, it's ridiculous what they're doing now. I mean, for me, when you talk about affirmative action, I'm a business owner. I want to hire the best people, period.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I don't care what color what they are, what race, what religion and non-religion they are. I want to hire the best people to make my business work. It's insane what Hollywood's doing. And I think Netflix and Disney are prime examples of showing what they have done, and that their people that were on their streaming service said enough of this stuff and they pulled away. I don't know what the numbers are, but I heard it was hundreds of millions of dollars, not billions, that these companies lost. And I think there's finally starting to wake up a little bit. I mean, I did a movie called Let There Be Light that I directed. Sean Hannity funded it. Had a great run in theaters. Opening weekend was great. I get a call from Netflix saying, hey, you've got a strong foot into this inspiration faith world. We want to open an inspirational division at Netflix. So I had 4 meetings with them over the next four months there at their Hollywood offices. And yet they did nothing with it. I mean, I don't hold bad will towards people at a different point of view than me, but I don't understand this whole cancel culture and woke world where they can stop people from getting work. Look, I was going to go do a Comic-Con here coming up because I used to get invited to a lot. I'm getting less and less now because they're saying, oh, no, you can't show up because of your politics. I'm going, what?
Wow.
I thought this is a Comic-Con. People are going to be fans of Hercules and Andromeda or my movies. If people hate me because of my politics, then they won't come up and ask for an autograph. That's fine. But now I'm unable to get that. I mean, I enjoy doing those shows. I enjoy meeting my fans. I'm one of the few guys that takes the time to talk to them. So it's so weird out there right now. But you know as well as I do, the cancel culture wokies out there, these little trolls, they lead such perfect lives. They are perfect in everything. They have nothing to worry about. And they need to write books and teach us how to be more perfect like they are.
No, you are right. And that's coming from Hercules. Okay, so we got a couple more questions before I let you go. So this is a very serious question. Who played a more historically accurate Hercules, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Kevin Sorbo?
Oh, me by far. You know what happened? We contacted that movie before they even started filming and say, guys, they did it with Lou Ferrigno in the Hulk. They gave him a little cameo. You guys would be stupid not to throw him in a little cameo.
Yeah.
I met Dwayne a couple of times. Don't know him well, but he was always cool to me in the gym. We worked at the same gym when I used to live in California. And I thought, and the director, I guess, said, no, not interested. And I thought, wow. Okay, I think this is part of the cancel culture thing going on right now. But some fan posted out there, from Steve Reeves to Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, said, who is the best Hercules, favorite Hercules? I was 88% of the vote.
Kevin, you're the best Hercules. I'm not even just kissing your butt.
I even got the Hercules sword behind me, for crying out loud.
You were the real deal Hercules. When I was a young man, or young kid, I thought you really were Hercules, and I'm not just kissing your butt. So you are the best one. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you can freaking worship at the altar of that. Kevin Sorbo. I mean, Kevin, okay, but before I let you go, what is it like being at the time, at the peak? Well, and I know you're a happily married guy, you have a great family, or this and that, but I'm saying, how did you turn away the women? I'm sure they were all over you. How did you say no?
Well, I did. That was a problem. Hey, every episode of Hercules, they had brought a pretty woman for me to work with, and I was single at the time, so it was a great dating service. And then my wife came down at the end of season 4, and it was over for me like that. I knew the minute I saw her. I mean, I'm not kidding. It was weird. I knew the minute I saw her.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you guys, it's very intoxicating. I've never been the star of a show like Kevin. Even here, though, it's kind of intoxicating. People are nice to you. And then when you're on a movie set or a TV show and you're the top dog, I'm sure you just kind of feel it. Doesn't it almost give you this kind of false hero mindset a little bit?
Well, I don't know. I never believed I was as strong as the fictional character, the mythological character of Hercules. But I was always very grateful. I had an amazing crew down in New Zealand. New Zealand's fantastic. My crew went on to work on Lord of the Rings after we finished. I mean, they won all kinds of Academy Awards for their visual effects, for their cinematography, for wardrobe, all that stuff. So I was blessed to work with unbelievably talented people in that small country down there. And I look at it as my second home. New Zealand was just a fantastic place to live.
Wow. Okay. And I definitely need to go there. But before we let you go, we do this with all the actors that we have on the show. And my producer, what he likes to do is he tries to create modernized versions of the movies or shows that, sometimes our guest is known for, that they're a fan of. So we just want to ask your opinion and want to see if you would think that some of these ideas would be successful or not.
Do I think they would be? I don't know what the ideas are.
We're about to give you the ideas here. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're about to share them. Okay, so this one, and I don't know, do we have a graphic for it? Okay, so this is Hercules becomes body positive. Hercules must overcome the unrealistic beauty standards imposed by society and learn to embrace his individuality. He puts down the weights and picks up the French fries and inspires others to do the same. Hercules educates others on why heart disease is a social construct and promotes body positivity and self-love. Is that a hit or not?
In today's strange world, probably. I make a joke and people say, do you ever think they would, do Hercules again? I said, number one, I'm too old. They could age me up and I could play Zeus, because I got to work with Anthony Quinn, who played Zeus, which was awesome for me. But, the reality is they would probably make him a transgender or something. I don't mean that to be a jerk. It's just the weird world that we're in right now. It just doesn't make any sense.
And I'm not transphobic, and I know you're not transphobic. I know that for a fact. But so it's funny you say that, because this goes to our second idea. This is Hercules 2, and instead of you playing it, we cast Sam Smith as Hercules, who becomes a hero simply by being non-binary rather than his superhuman strength. This Hercules has superhuman courage by reminding everyone that they are non-binary, and the galaxies praise them for being brave and beautiful, and then the movie just kind of ends. So what do you think about Sam Smith being the next Hercules?
I'm looking for a garbage can so I can throw up.
Okay, all right, last one. My producer writes these long things. I can't even read them. I know they're insane. We do insane bits here, sometimes funny, sometimes cringe, but at least we're trying. I'll give you the good college try. Okay, this is the last one. Hercules stops mansplaining. And this is where Hercules is a hero who's known for his strength and bravery, but also his tendency to mansplain and talk over women. When he's tasked with a new mission, confronting his own behavior and discovering his superhero strength is just toxic masculinity. Rather than fight evil, he defers to the equally strong female counterparts and learns how to be a better ally.
Well, you drew a very sexy female in the cartoon role there. Here's the thing. I would not be surprised if any of that stuff could really happen in today's world, but I think Hercules is still going to take the lead. But my sons and I joke about this whole thing with all these super females and all these movies. I go, if this is true, that they're better than men, then maybe all the men should get out of the armed forces and we should have nothing but females in the Air Force and the Army and the Marines, and make them the Navy SEALs, because obviously they're a lot more masculine, because we've done a good job of demasculizing American men over the last 50 years. It's just gotten worse than the last 10.
No, I know, and they do the testosterone levels are just plummeting. Yeah. Okay, last thing before we let you go, it's almost over. My producer's dying to ask you a question, so please just humor him, be nice. He has a lot of mental health issues, so be very sweet to him, Kevin. He's a big fan of yours. JVT, do you have your question ready for Hercules?
Oh, yes. Okay. Kevin, so most people know you from Hercules, but I actually know you from my favorite film of all time, Meet the Spartans. It changed my life, not only because I thought it was so funny in 9th grade, but also because I fell in love with Carmen Electra. So can you please share one anecdote about being on set with her? And also, do you think that I'm her type?
Here's the deal. I had such a look. A buddy of mine said, you've got to see 300. So I went to it. I had like a 3-hour break between a couple castings in Hollywood. So I went to see the movie, loved the movie, thought it was great. And then my whole thought process was, they had this giant hole in the middle of the village. I thought, how many dogs and kids fall in that hole? I said, this would be a perfect movie to make fun of. Well, I get a call within 2 weeks from the guys who did the epic movie, date movie, scary movie. And they said, hey, we're going to do a 300. I said, I don't care what part I give. Just give it to me. I said, I'll do it. We had so much fun on that set. We shot down in New Orleans. And Carmen Electra at the time was dating, what's her name? Put another dime in the jukebox. Joan Jett. She was dating Joan Jett. And I went, you're dating Joan Jett? She goes, yeah, I'm just trying the lesbian thing now. I went, oh, okay, whatever. But honestly, in person, I mean, she's beautiful in photos. In person, she's stunning. She is absolutely stunning. One of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. I mean, she was great. She was easy to work with, and had a lot of fun.
Come true. It's kind of surreal, and I'm talking to the actual Hercules, and you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work, and anything that I can ever do to help you, your sons, please don't ever hesitate.
SorboStudios.com. Go to SorboStudios.com. Check it out. A lot of stuff happening on there. It's merged with my wife's website as well. She travels the country doing a lot of homeschool speaking. We're homeschool advocates. And one of the blessings of COVID is 2 million more families are now homeschooling. So please check it out. Later this year, you and I need to talk in the fall. I got 2 movies coming out. One I directed called Miracle in East Texas, true story, set in 1930. And then the other is the Reagan movie that I shot with Dennis Quaid.
Wow. And don't forget all your books. I mean, you're an incredible creator, Kevin. It's an honor and a pleasure. And we're going to be able to put links to all your stuff. Make sure to go to sorbostudios.com. Please go and support a real guy, not some of these Hollywood freaks. This is a good Christian man, a father, and somebody that actually deserves your support, unlike a lot of these evil people that are getting it unfairly. So thank you again, Kevin. I'll talk to you again, and tell your boys, Shane, Braden, hello from me, and thank you.
I will. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Peace. All right, guys, that's the legendary Kevin Sorbo. I'm not trying to be a fangirl, but it is kind of insane talking to Hercules. And we got to do a little thing, guys. If you want to be the biggest pimp on a blimp, make sure to go get some of the Primetime 99 merch at pimponablimpshop.com. Use the code BLIMP10 for 10% off. That's on the shirts, the sweaters, the mugs, the stickers, you name it, we got it. And you can tell everybody that you love them big booty Latinas too. So please, for the love of anything that is sweet and holy, go buy a t-shirt so I can live my life, because it's not easy. It's very expensive. Every freaking show I have to throw away my clothes because I sweat through them. So by you buying a shirt, it buys me a shirt. By, you support me that way, then I take that money and I buy another shirt. So in a way, we're supporting each other. So I need you. Go to pimponablimpshop.com. Blimp10 for 10% off. All right, now, guys, we're getting to the freaking meat of the show. We have one of the most incredible comedians that's out right now at all. And I'm not just saying this. Everybody, you don't. Sam Tripoli is not only one of the biggest leaders in the counterculture, but he's one of the best podcasters out there. He's got an incredible, I don't even want to say, a database of content, not only on Rockfin, not only on YouTube, but I'm just saying, any way you can support Sam Tripoli, go support Sam Tripoli, because this guy supported me. So I want to welcome on the one, the only, Sam Tripoli. Welcome to Primetime with Alex Stein, Sam.
The best of the business. Prime time. You made it prime time.
I finally made it. Sam, I finally made it. I'm going to be a big podcaster like you. Okay, but I got to ask you, Sam, you had three podcasts in the top 200. What does that feel like?
Well, it feels amazing. It's hard enough to get one. There's like hundreds of thousands of comedy podcasts, and be able to get in the top. To have 3 of them in the top 200 on Apple Podcasts is pretty amazing. But you know what? Enough about me. How about your set, brother? You're crushing it.
I know. This is the actual blimp. This is and we have the digital reincarnation of my mother. We were able to put consciousness into a supercomputer, allowing me to speak to her forever. So what do you think about the transhumanist agenda, Sam?
Well, it's all about these war pigs that don't want to go to heaven and be judged in the afterlife. So they want to keep us down here where they commit all their craziness, and that's what it's all about. It's about escaping judgment, brother. And that's what it is, man. They don't want to have to come back as a goldfish or some woman in a donkey show in Tijuana. That's where they go.
No, and Sam, like I'm not just gonna kiss your butt all day, but I'm saying you've had a tremendous amount of success the past few years. You know, even though you've known Joe forever, I
called you. I said Primetime's gonna be huge. I'm psychic too, bro.
You did call it. Oh, you're seeing a lot of the fruit of your labors. You're on top, and other guys that got a kind of a bump, and we're not going to name names, are kind of hurting. I'm just saying, how does it feel though that now a lot of times you saw everybody else grinding, and now you're dominating in the podcast world? Does it feel good, or does it are you almost empathetic to the people that you've kind of surpassed?
Both, bro. I feel for people. It's a hard gig. You got to kind of the key to life, dude, is deciding making goals and being okay with changing those goals. It sounds nuts, but it really is true. I mean, most people move to LA wanting to be like Vince Vaughn, but if you only accept that kind of success, it's going to drive you crazy, man. So you got to kind of be listening to the universe and what it wants, So the universe wanted me to be a podcaster that's shadow banned everywhere.
Yes.
I got shadow banned on Twitter
and
for,
Instagram. Sam, your stuff never comes up on Instagram. You're shadow banned everywhere. But did you ever? Your original Twitter back? Remember you had some Twitter, I remember you had 100,000 or something. You never got that one back?
I haven't gotten that back either, dude. How dangerous am I, bro?
Dude, you are dangerous.
So dangerous.
Sam, you are, because what you do is you expose the dark arts. And I know we say that jokingly, but what people don't realize is these people are evil. They're like literal pedophiles that are in power that are doing satanic spirit cooking rituals. So, I mean, like in Hollywood, have you ever seen
They
that?
all worship Moloch, dog. You gotta get right. They want you to say it's Satan. It's really Moloch, bro. Moloch, Kronos, Baal, they're all the same. It's the dark entity, and they have to hurt children, and that really sucks. So I'm just telling you, brother. It's like it's all Moloch, and there's degrees of this stuff, and it's if you get into, I mean, they all talk about fallen angels. That's the whole thing. It's all about the fallen.
Yeah.
Archons, fallens, watchers, it's all the same. Whether it's Vedic astrology or Christianity, they all talk about fallen angels come down here to make a realm of consequences. And when you start to understand it's spiritual war, it all starts to make sense.
Yeah, but see, Sam, you and I are talking about esoteric things, and it's hard for just a layman, you know, somebody that's never done any research to kind of know what we're talking about. But what I try to do with my content is like, oh, people say I'm conservative or far right. I don't even want people to agree with me ideologically. I just want to make them question the reality in which they live in. So,
Yes.
like, what questions did you start asking, Sam? Like, what was your transition to, oh, I'm just Sam the comedian, to now I'm like Sam the truther that knows what the hell's going on?
You know, that's a great question. My podcast, Tinfoil Hat, started when I was watching people like Jimmy Dore and Lee Camp, who still are pretty, far to the left, but they were talking about how Bernie Sanders was getting jobbed by Hillary, and that, exit polls, all these numbers. We saw Bernie Sanders was doing like Felipe Esparza numbers, and Hillary was doing Sam Tripoli in a cafeteria numbers, and they were trying to tell us that Hillary was winning. So that kind of kicked it off. And then I started doing like Matt LaCroix was coming on talking about hidden history. Then Von Galt came on and said the same thing from a Buddhist spiritual realm. And I go, okay, if they're lying to me about all this stuff, about what else they lying to, and you realize that they're lying to you about God and the connection with God and these institutions that they put between you and God to make you question God. In reality, God is all of us, Christ consciousness and all that. When I practice law of attraction, law of abundance, I start to realize that everything is vibrational, hermetic principles. I start getting into that. Law of attraction, law of abundance. Will yourself, like Alex, prime time, willed himself to this amazing show. And then also Alex having all of his friends on that were there from the beginning. That's abundance of giving it away.
Wow. Well, Sam, listen, like you and I say, I'm not some super religious guy fighting God, and everybody needs to find their own spiritual satisfaction. And that's why I look at you as a role model, because I don't think that you act like you're some Bible banger, big Christian guy. I mean, obviously you don't, but you realize that, hey, there is a creator and you don't have all the answers, but you're willing to actually, look into it and figure it out on your own and come to your own conclusions. And that's why you're dominating with not just your podcast, but your comedy. I mean, you're selling out shows. You're on fire. I know I'm doing well, but a lot of that is because of you. And we're running out of time. So Sam, tell us, plug any of your future gigs and kind of just, leave the people.
Thank you, Alex. First of all, I love you. I knew you were going to blow up. I wanted you to know that. And your show is great, and it's only going to get better. So sit back and watch the greatest to ever do it. And I'm going to be myself, Eddie Bravo, Xavier Guerrero, Tinfoil Hat, Comedy Night. We're going to be in Spokane Friday night. We sold out Tacoma. Come to Spokane at the Comedy Club. And then the following week, I'm blessed. My buddy, Tino Sanchez, Andrew Raffi. We're going to be at the House of Comedy in the Mall of America in Minneapolis. Come get weird, brothers and sisters.
Guys, go get weird. And Tino's a great guy. Tino Sanchez is awesome. I'm telling you, the Mall of America, Elon Omar is going to be there watching. So if you want to see Sam and Elon Omar and her brother, go to Mall of America and go to Spokane. Sam, you're the man. Keep dominating. Dude, I'm telling you, you are literally the hottest podcaster. You're on the grind all the time. I know I say it, but you live it, dog. You are an inspiration.
I love you, brother. I'm so happy for you.
Dude, thank you, Sam. Keep on grinding. I'll talk to you soon.
Keep
Thanks again.
it. Make the world a better place. Love you, buddy.
Love you, Sam. Wow. It's so awesome. I love having good friends that are like Sam, that like he said, it's about abundance and gratitude and giving back. And when Sam was making it, he helped me and put me on some of his comedy shows. And did more than that. I'm just saying he did a lot for me to help me out. So I'm very grateful to the friendship with Sam. But guys, this has been a crazy episode. Like that? Is that what time? Is that what time it is? The show's over? DJ, you know what time it is? Yo, it's number 99. And you know I grind and shine. And you know I got the sanitizer. And you know I'm vaxxed with a Pfizer. And you know I am much wiser. Stick the juice on my head. Spray it up so I'm not dead. Vaccinate me at the club. Vaccinate me, give me a tug. Job all up in my pants. That's why I do a little dance. Kevin Sorbo, Hercules. And you know you can't stop in us. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Prime time, 99. General Flynn is gonna win. And you're going to hell if you continue to sin. I love you, my friend. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Come on, hit that bell for notifications. I'm trying to make some money. I love you guys tonight.